The CSMA method does not specify the procedure following a collision. Courier sends multiple access with collision detection, augments the algorithm to handle the collision. In this method, a station monitors the medium after it sends a frame to see if the transmission was successful. If so, the station is finished. However, if there is a collision, the frame is sent again. First bits transmitted by the two stations involved in the collision. Although each station continues to send bits in the frame until it detects the collision, we show what happens as the first bits collide. In the above figure, station A and C are involved in the collision. After time t1, station A has executed its persistence procedure and starts sending the bits of frame. It's the bits of its frame. After time t2, station C has not yet sensed the first bit sent by station A. Station C executes its persistence procedure and starts sending the bits in its frame, which propagate which propagates to both left and to the right. The collision occurs sometime after time t2 dash. Station C detects a collision at time t3 when it receives the first bit of A's frame. Station C immediately aborts transmission. Station A detects collision at time t4 when it receives the first bit of C's frame. It also immediately aborts transmission. Looking at the figure, we can see A transmits for the duration T4 to T1, while C transmits for the duration T3 to T2 dash. Later we show for the protocol to work, the length of any frame divided by the bitrate in this protocol must be more than either of these durations. At time T4, transmission of A's frame through incomplete is aborted. At time t3, transmission of B's frame, though incomplete, is aborted.
The flow diagram for CSMA-CD in figure 12.14. It is similar to the one for the Aloha protocol, but there are differences. The first difference is the addition of the persistence process. We need to sense the channel before we start sending the frame by using one of the persistence process we discussed previously. The corresponding box can be replaced by one of the persistence process. The second difference is the frame transmission. In Aloha, we first transmit the entire frame and then wait for an acknowledgement. In CSA-MS-CD, transmission and collision detection is a continuous process. We do not send the entire frame and then look for a collision. The station transmits and receives continuously and simultaneously. We use a loop to show the transmission is a continuous process. We constantly monitor in order to detect one of the two conditions. Either transmission is finished or collision is detected. Either event stops transmission. When we come out of the loop, if it is a collision that has been detected, it means that transmission is complete. The entire frame is transmitted. Otherwise, a collision has occurred. The third difference is the sending of a short jamming signal that enforces the collision in case other stations have not yet sensed the collision. Energy level. We can say that the level of energy in a channel can have three zeros: normal and abnormal. At the zero level, the channel is idle. At the normal level, a station has successfully captured the channel and is sending its frame. At the abnormal level, there is a collision and the level of energy is twice the normal level. A station that has a frame to send or is sending a frame needs to monitor the energy level to determine if the channel is idle, busy, or in collision mode. Figure 12.15 shows the situation.
This project is a software implementation and show collision detection between any of the station using a common channel to send and receive data through data link layer of the internet model. This program follows a typical approach to detection collision, in which the sender uses non-persistent method in which a station that has a frame to send senses in the line. If the line is idle, it sends immediately. If the line is not idle, it waits for a random amount of time and then sends the signal again. The program includes the usual functions of the data link layer like collision, back off time, getting data and making a frame and sending the data to the receiving station. The program is designed graphically to visualize the sending data and collision detection. The program is designed in such a way that user can stimulate all the things that occur while transferring a frame, and once a collision is detected, the station again retransmits the data using back of time. The program is designed in such a way that the interaction between the computer and the user required input when the user has freedom from options available whether to send or the send frame or not. Based on the input given by the user, the program runs the simulation of CSMA CD.
Introduction. CSMA CD. Carrier sense multiple access with collision detection. Is used to send data between stations using the same channel as medium. Each station in the channel senses the channel before transmitting the data that needs to be sent, using any one of the three persistent methods. We use non-persistent method once the station sends the channel if the channel is free. It sends the data to concerned station. If the channel is not free, the station waits for random amount of time and then again senses the channel and then retransmits. While sending data, if a station's data encounter collision with another station's data, the channel is jammed and then again using random back of time, the station retransmits the data. This process is followed till each data is sent successfully to their concerned destination station. Second point, hardware or software requirements. We have designed in a C language code implementation of CSMA CD. No hardware is required. Only a PC which has Windows XP or higher or any other OS which can run a GCC compiler is more than sufficient. We have created this program using CodeBlocks IDE. We have used rand function in our program that states random so to generate random back of time. Other than this, not much software is required in this process.
And here we define the structure station, and here are the sort of the header lines of the functions which are I have used, and here we define the backup function to determine whether the station is exceeded the limits or not, and if not, we increment the key value by using the random function to send the corresponding values to R, to the variable R, and here comes the main function. Initially, we will ask the number of stations from the user input, and we will run a for loop, and also we will ask the user to enter the choice whether the ith station want to transfer a signal or not, and we will assume that the initial time as 0 for the ith station. The choice is 1, then we will ask the time taken by the ith station to reach the corresponding destination, and we will increment the some variable a, and also we will assign status of the ith station as 0, and also we will ask the user to enter the destination of the ith station, and the starting address and destination address of the ith station are same, then we will put it as the wrong destination, and also we will ask the user to enter the 3-bit data. And also here comes a correlate function of the status of ith station is not equal to 1, then we will assign this thing I value of the is and the I value of the j as 0, and also the we will assign this channel array as 0, and there must be some jamming of the signal status, and hence we will call the backup function to determine whether the station is within the limit or not. And also we will call the send data method, which is used to determine from which station to which station the data is sent, and start any method. It is this function is used to determine which station takes the among the transfer which station takes the least time to reach its destination. If starting time of the ith station is 0, then is not equal to 0, then we break the loop, and we will assign this thing instead of minimum of time as x if the x greater than current time of the ith station. Then we will print the corresponding time, and as I said earlier, the send data function is used to determine from which station to which station the data is sent. And here for the non-persistency, the destination address of the ith station is equals to 1, then backing off occurs if there is no backing off occurs, and else if backing off occurs, then we will increment the time variable, and we will print the entire channel array. And send method it is used for the actual transmission of the way from where to where the data is sent. In this method is okay. Here the serial number of the IS IS and serial number of the JS is 0, then we will assign the channel variable. It means that the station is sending the data for the first time. Else if they are not 0, then there may be the possibility of collision, hence we will call the collision. Else if there is no possibility of collision, then we will check for the serial number is not equal to n, then we will increment the serial IS of serial number. Else if the serial number is not equal to 1, then we will decrement the JS of serial number, and hence we will increment the X value of the channel array. We will increment the X value of the channel array. And then similarly, okay, if the serial number is not equal, then we will assign for serial number IS of serial number to some variable X. Similarly, if the serial number is not equal, then we will assign the JS of serial number to some variable X. This one, the stations of the serial number of destination equals to stations of serial number of data at third position, then data is sent successfully. Then we will increment some variable W. Hence we will check for the final condition that A equals W. Here the variable A is that what we have used in the main function to enter the as we have asked the time from the user retrieved for the ith station. Then we have incremented the variable A. Here it is. And the value of the A and value of the W both are equal, then all the signals are sent successfully. Hence the transaction takes place successfully, and the data will reach their destination, correct destination. Now comes the output part. As initially we have asked the user input to enter the number of stations.
So now I'll explain you the output. In output we have some predefined options, such as if we want some station to transmit, we'll enter 1, otherwise we'll enter 2. So let's start with it. Enter a number of stations, we'll enter 6, then we enter 1 since we want station 1 to transmit, and then the time for station 1 to transmit the signal is 10. Enter the destination of signal 1, station 1, it will be 5. Now we'll enter the data in the 3-bit format, that will be 1, 2 and 3 we are going to send. Similarly, we will enter the following for station 2, we want it to send, we'll enter the time, we'll enter the destination, and we'll enter the data as 4, 5, 6. Now we don't want station 3 to send, we enter 2, similar for station 4. Now for station 5, we want it to send, so we are going to enter 1, time is 2, destination is 1, and data is 7, 8 and 9. Now it starts to send the data, and so let's start with it. Data bit is 3, it sends, then it sends data bit 0, then it sends data bit 0 as serial number 1, serial number 5, and similarly it will send till collision occurs. It will give it as a serial number 1 since it's the first collision, and jamming of signal 1. This happens due to many reasons, some of which I'll explain. One, that is like when the time for sending the data occurs to be same. So it follows a rule of like delaying the data timing for sending. So we can send it afterwards the first data is sent. Now furthermore, it will start again to send the other data left out. Now it will send the data bit 0 in serial number 1, data bit 5 as serial number 2, data bit 0 as again serial number 1, 6 as serial number 2, 0 as 1, 0 as 2, and hence it will continue till the data sending all the data is successfully sent. Now after this all has done, it will show an output as data sending successful, all signals sent successfully, process returned 0, execution time it will show as 33.134 seconds right now, and press any key to continue.